tuning in, and thank you for your requests, because that's why I'm doing the one brand tutorials again. Tons of people have been asking me to do some more of them. The way I do them is pretty much like a drugstore brand and then a high-end brand. I go every other with these videos, and so the last one I did was a drugstore one, and be sure to check the list below. I've put links to each one brand tutorial I've ever done in the extra info section, so you can see what I've done. If you want to request one, you can see if I've already done it or not. But this one's going to be on Too Faced, and that of course is a high-end brand you can find in stores like Ulta and Sephora. At the end of these videos I do kind of a wrap-up, just reviewing the different products. That's the benefit of a one brand tutorial, is you can see how do that one brand's products come together to create a look without some like favorite or must-have from another brand coming in and maybe taking over for, you know, some product that didn't work so well. So you really see how it comes together. I actually am not using any foundation, so the face is really pretty natural. The lip is very neutral, but the eyes incorporate some colors that are just yummy. I mean, I'm really happy with the way it turned out, and I used a different little strategy with the outer edge here to really give the shadow an edge. I'm really only using 5 products in this video, a couple of kits, palette type things, and then 3 other individual products. So I hope you enjoyed the look, and here's how to get it. I've just applied some moisturizer and primer, and I'm going to start out with the Too Faced Natural Face Palette. So this is giving us basically all of our face makeup here in terms of concealer. You've got a brightener, a luminizer, blushes, and a bronzer. So the first thing I'm going to do is take the concealer part just here with my finger, and I'm going to dot this around on different areas that I want to cover up. So that may be some spots, some redness, a little bit around the nose. I'm just kind of roughly putting it on there right now. Then I'm going to take my P80 brush from Sigma and just blend that in. I'm really relying on this concealer stuff in this palette for my coverage, since I don't have a foundation from Too Faced, or a typical one that's not a powder. So definitely this concealer right here in the palette is pretty good coverage. It's very creamy, and it was able to kind of help out circles, redness, and some spots. But I'm also going to use the Brighten right here, which is just kind of like a little bit lighter shade, but pretty much the same texture as the concealer. And I'm going to take that just under the eye and pull it out, almost like to highlight the cheekbone area. I'm going to take a little bit down the nose and a little bit on the chin, and then I'm going to blend that out with the brush as well. So this is giving me even more of an impact, especially on the under eye area here. And this brush is nice because it gets right up in there for you. Next, I'm going to use my Too Faced Amazing Face Skin Balancing Flexible Coverage Foundation Powder. My shade is Perfect Nude. And I'm just going to sort of set what I just did there. I'm using a really light amount of this powder and almost just blotting it over the areas that I just applied the concealer. So this is just really helping to even out my skin tone a little bit. Going back to my natural face palette, I'm using my e.l.f. Small Stipple brush in the Creme blush product. And I'm just gonna dot that on each cheek. And then I'm going to blend that out. I know it looks like kind of a lot right now, but when you blend with this brush in circular motions, it really just diffuses the product, and it doesn't apply too much pressure to the skin. Then I'm going to just apply a little dusting of the powder blush on top. And I'm not using a lot of bronzer for this look, but I am going to use this shade here in Bronze Veil, and that's going to become just a little bit of a contour for us. If I were doing a look with more bronzer, I would have probably gone all over the face after the powder step, but here I'm just kind of using it as a light contour. So I'm also going around the forehead with that product as well. And if you're looking for a bronzer that's darker than this, Chocolate Soleil is a great option, great matte bronzer that I love. And then just for a little finishing touch, I'm using the Luminize that's in here. This is kind of a pinky cream highlight, and I'm going to apply that to the Cupid's bow area here. And that's just going to make the lips look a little more full and pouty kind of once we do the lip product. I'm going to do a little bit of this up on the brow bone as well. And a little bit right down the center of the nose. I feel like the blush gave me a little bit of glow on the cheeks, so I'm not going to do any more there, but if you wanted to, you could go back and use that little stipple brush to apply some of the highlight. I'm going to start out using the Too Faced Shadow Insurance in Candlelight. That's what comes in the Shadow Bonbons palette. And this is a really it's not anywhere near as sheer as regular Shadow Insurance. You're going to see here, it really keeps a goldeny tone to it. Next, I'm taking this shade right here with a flat brush. It starts with an F, and we were having a lot of difficulty before figuring out how to say this. You Googled it for me? What do they say?
It's framboise.
Are you from?
Framboise.
Framboise?
It's almost like they are not even saying the R.
Are they rolling the R?
A little bit, but it's very subtle. Framboise.
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 Framboise. Framboise. Framboise. You're welcome.
Thank you. I don't know if this answers any questions for me, but...
It means raspberries.
It does?
Yes.
Well, that color doesn't look like raspberries. Well, whatever you call it, it's a gorgeous shade, and I'm going to pat that all over my eyelid. This would be gorgeous for even just a one color look because it's really pretty when it catches the light, but as you wedge it kind of into your crease, I just flip my brush over and I'm kind of pulling it up into the crease a bit. But as you do that, it develops more of a deeper tone as well. So this is a really great color. Then I'm just going to soften the edge of that with a bare crease brush. Then I'm picking up a little bit of this Licorice Latte shade. It's kind of like a sparkly black, and I'm picking that up with a flat brush. Then I'm going to take a business card, Beauty Broadcast, and I'm going to line that up with the outer edge of my eye, and then I'm going to add a little bit of this shade right there. Just extending up a little bit past where the crease is. Then I'm taking a little bit more of that shade on a pencil brush, and I'm just kind of blending on the inner part, not going below this line, but I'm blending it a little bit towards the center of the eye. Then I'm going to pick up some light brown with my crease brush. This is called Marzipan. And with that, I'm going to go right through the crease, overlapping, that little purpley shade and what we did here on the outside, and this is just going to blend everything out. I'm going to take a little bit of this vanilla, a matte cream color, with the blending brush, and that's going to go right up under the eyebrow. Then I'm going back to Licorice Latte with a pencil brush, and with this, we're going to just work it into the crease a little bit more. Again, I'm not going past our line, but I'm just pulling it inward a little more, creating more of a deepened crease color. I'm going to take that under the eye as well. Then some more of this pretty purple shade that starts with the F. I'm going to take that under my eye too, and that's a really pretty color right under here. I'm using a little smudger brush and this shade called Nude Beach. It has some sparkle in it, so just be aware that there can be some fallout with that shade. But I'm going to tap that right around my innermost corner. I'm using the Perfect Eyes Waterproof Eyeliner in Perfect Black. This came in the Return of Sexy palette, and of course you can get it individually as well. And I'm just going to line my waterline here. Next, I'm going to apply it all across my upper lash line, starting at the inner corner. Then, right around the outer corner, apply a little bit more, just thicken up your line a bit, and connect it there to the lower lash line. We're not really weighing it out yet. Then take an angled liner brush, and this is so cool. Get it in there in the black, and this is so creamy. You're just going to pull it up right along that line that we did the shadow with. So you just stay right on the line, and you're going to get a nice little subtle wing there that you can totally control with this brush. And eventually it is going to set and it's not going to smudge much for you, so you got to kind of do it right away. but it's just a matter of pulling up like that. Then keeping the line and everything looking nice and clean, I'm going back to vanilla with another flat brush. You could use like a concealer brush and using it on its side and sweeping up under that line. I just curled my lashes and I'm going to apply some of the Too Faced Lashgasm mascara. You get a full size with the Shadow Bonbons kit, and it is a rubber brush mascara. And I'm going to apply this to my upper and lower lashes. Then I'm going to apply some Salon Perfect Demi Wispies lashes. These are ones that are a little bit longer on the ends, and I'll join you when I'm done. Then for lips, I'm applying some of this Too Faced lipstick in Nude Beach. And this is just a really creamy lipstick. Nice color to complement the really smoky eye. My take on how some of these products worked. First off, the Natural Face palette. This is a gorgeous palette. I love how it really is all-encompassing with concealer products, a luminizer, blushes, and a bronzer. The one problem here is when you're thinking about multiple skin tones, I'm pretty sure this is the only color family this comes in. It just comes in one option. And that may work for like my skin tone or a little lighter, a little bit deeper. But if you get into, really rich skin, they definitely, these concealer shades wouldn't work anymore. Really. I think the coverage was really good considering I'm not wearing a foundation at all. I thought the concealer and the brightener worked really well, especially. Luminizer, it's nothing out of this world. It's just kind of a shimmery, creamy product. The cream blush, I love the particular shades that you're given there. And then Bronze Veil, I mentioned it, but it's a little bit lighter than Chocolate Soleil bronzer. Still a nice bronzer, but it's just not going to give you quite as deep of a color, so that's just something to keep in mind. And for reference, I do love the Chocolate Soleil bronzer. That's a great, great matte bronzer, but if you need an alternative that's a little bit cheaper, check out the Revlon Photo Ready bronzer. That's a great matte one from the drugstore. If this does happen to work for your coloring and everything, I think this is a nice way to kind of minimize products. It's nice for travel, and you know that these different shades do work well together. The Amazing Face Powder is really, really good. I've raved about this before. The texture is really rich. I think it's also good if you have oily skin. I feel like it sort of keeps that at bay, maybe a little better than some other powders. The amount of drugstore products I have tried, I can tell you that you can get something similar to this elsewhere. This reminds me a little bit of MAC's Studio Fix, maybe not quite as much coverage as that, but if you're wanting something similar to that, the Milani Multitasker Powder is another option. So I'm not really doing this video just to give you a bunch of dupes, but this powder really is good, but I think it's not so special that you couldn't find a great matte powder elsewhere. For the eyes, I've been looking for this Shadow Bonbons palette for a while recently at Ulta, and I'm so glad I did. Just to give you a closer look at the palette, it has a mirror up top and it has 12 different eyeshadows here. So it's a good range of neutrals plus some colors. Keep in mind some of these shades do overlap. I don't have every Too Faced palette ever made, but I know Peach Fuzz, Lovey Dovey, Nude Beach, and maybe Coffee Bean. Not positive on that, but I know there is some overlap. Not every shade is brand new. So if you collect a lot of palettes, you might give yours at home the once over to see if there are shades here that are unique enough to make you want to buy it. But for me, I love these colors here. I know we struggled with the name of this one, but this Framboise shade is so pretty because it's like a dusty, smoky lilac, and it really is gorgeous. But I wouldn't buy a palette for just one gorgeous shade. There are definitely other shades here that I love. This marzipan color, was really key to taking this look and giving it this nice natural edge almost with that really light brown. It's just perfect. Candy Rose is gorgeous, this pink color. There's one shade that you have to worry about some glittery fallout, and that is Nude Beach. Licorice Latte has a little sparkle down here. Other than that, you're down to some shades that are either shimmery, kind of satiny finishes, or totally matte. The Candlelight Primer, it's nice that they included that. Typically, it's always just the regular shadow insurance that goes in with their different palettes. You may not always want that golden color underneath every look that you have, but it is really pretty. And I gotta say, I'm not a fan of the Lashgasm mascara. I've already tried a small, like, sample size of this. It's a rubber brush. It was great for defining my lower lashes, I must say, but with the upper lashes, not enough volume. Just, I mean, it made them still look kind of puny. So I did add my falsies to this look, which I think really helps the look out quite a bit. But you might like that mascara, so it may be something that you want to try. It comes in the kit, as does the shadow insurance, but the highlight of the kit, in my opinion, is definitely these shadows. I love Too Faced eyeshadows, and I think this gives you a really nice opportunity to make some neutral looks, but with a little bit of some really feminine, pretty colors like the pinks and the lilacs and things like that. This palette is really relatively new to me. I just got it this past weekend, so I've used it a few times, and that's my kind of initial reaction on it. I'll keep using it, and we'll probably incorporate this into a larger review of holiday palettes, but right now I'm really loving it. The eyeliner, this is the Perfect Eyes Waterproof Liner. This, the one that I have, came in my Too Faced Return of Sexy palette, and you could buy it individually as well. It's not quite as long wearing as some other ones I have. I think if you wanted an equivalent to this from the drugstore, look to the Maybelline Master Drama. I also don't love that you have to sharpen this, but it is really soft and creamy, and it was very easy for me to create that special kind of little cat eye look with this. And the lip color. These are really luxurious feeling lip colors. They remind me a lot of the feel of, like, Matte came out with something called, I think it's Sheen Supreme, and it's a very ultra creamy lip product. Revlon lip butters feel a lot like these do as well. But this shade called Nude Beach is a very nice shade. It's not often that I will do something nude on my lips and not feel the need to put a gloss over it, because I think just a flat nude lip looks really like just that, just very flat, sometimes kind of dry, but this has kind of a healthy amount of shine to it, and I think it's a super wearable color. The color is kind of close to Revlon Color Burst Lip Butter and Creme Brulee, only this one that I have on has just a little more pink in it. So while the cost for one lip product can be a bit much, I do think it's extremely great quality, and it feels amazing on the lips. So that wraps it up for my Too Faced One Brand tutorial. I hope you learned a lot about some of the different products in the line and how they can come together to create a look. Really happy with the Shadow Bonbons kit, and really like the lip product as well. The Natural Face palette is a very convenient thing. The only catch there is that it's really got to suit your skin tone, so it may be something to check out in the store if you have a chance. But thank you so much for watching, guys. Hope you have a great day, and let me know your requests for the next One Brand tutorial, which will be a drugstore one. So see you later. Bye.